Hi, I'm Bran, and I love VH1 Christmas movies.
I'm Dan, and I despise VH1 Christmas movies.
I'm Alonzo, and who knew? VH1 Christmas movies. And this
is the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast.
We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Hello, everybody.
Boy, what
Great
a day.
to be back. Another Monday. February is here.
Monday.
You go from dry Jan to February.
Oh, I see what you did there. February.
Yeah.
The only thing you can drink is something that's been brewed.
That's exactly right.
So good luck out there, everybody.
That's right.
You
All you
brew heads.
Brand's thinking matcha.
Yeah,
Matcha. Yeah.
Wow, it's great. It is great to be here today. I'm just having such a blast so far this year, going to from network to network, finding the 2022 movies that we missed, and this one is no exception. VH1.
VH1.
We've done one
MTV logo
before.
at the beginning.
We've done one before, which was last year. We did
also had Kel Mitchell in it.
Also just
Yes, the one
Adventures
with
in Christmasing.
bingo.
It was not memorable, nor was it good.
But
No.
but they're back at it again with
So
this one.
but
But we're back at it again. But the nice thing about this one is that we were able to find it right there on the Philo.
right on the Philo.
Philo.tv.
They got so much on demand there. You just search it and it's there. Boom. Just like that.
Boom. It's wonderful. So just search it. Just search it, find it, and you can find us. You can find the movie, and then you can call yourself whatever you want to call yourself. Jason?
As long as you do those two things.
As long as you do those
you
two
can
things.
call yourself whatever
Here's
you
the
want to
thing.
call yourself.
That's exactly right. Unless you do those two things,
You
you
can't.
have to call yourself by your legal name.
You can call yourself a philosopher.
I can call you Betty.
There you go.
You could
Yeah.
call me Al. But only if you do those two things.
That's right.
And I just want to put that right there on the old record.
To be clear, you can't call me Al. I've made that very clear to a lot of people over the course of my life.
What about Alfonso? I know.
No, that's not even close to my name. That's no.
Yeah.
Well,
Do you think Alfonso Cuarón ever gets Alonzo?
Probably not. Probably not nearly as much as I get Alfonso. I'm just going to put that out there.
It's all white people too, isn't it? That do the Alfonso thing. Be honest.
Yes.
It's always somebody that wants to be like really quick off the cuff, very proud that they know your name and go. And I tell you what, Alfonso, it's every time.
You know what? I'm going to say non-Hispanic people are the
Okay.
guilty parties here.
Got it.
Because there are a lot of black Alfonsos. And so sometimes I get that confusion. I'm like, nope. It's
Okay,
No,
yeah.
no F,
Nope.
no
That's
PH.
fair.
Just
Just
don't
you.
give an F about it.
there you go. I have no F to give.
No
That's
F to
exactly
give.
right.
That's
That's
right.
Man, we are crushing it today.
We
We
are
had the
doing- we are
February. Man,
Oh, so good.
God,
Paul Simon.
man.
Have we done all of them already? We've checked the whole list for today. It's right there in the back. We get them all. There's one
we
more
have a
left to
bingo.
check.
I'm seeing triangle. What's that about?
I don't know. We'll get there, I guess.
Triangle pizza.
We did it in show prep.
Yeah, you guys know that one.
Nope.
You guys know the one.
I don't know the one, Trace.
Do it. Triangle.
Maybe
pizza.
later. Can we get to VH1, please?
I guess so. All I Didn't Want for Christmas originally aired on the vehicle, the
Video Hits
one.
Yeah, we found that out from Alonzo.
Video Hits, the regular, straight up taken. Video Hits 1.
At Juno.com.
At the DMV, they had to get the next one.
That's right.
.biz. All I Didn't Want for Christmas originally aired on VH1 on December 7th, 2022.
And it stars.
Kel Mitchell.
And
Kel Mitchell?
Gabourey Sidibe.
I see. You were trying to set me up. I didn't.
Academy Award nominee. Gabrielle.
Jokes on you. I didn't know her name. She wasn't in Kenan and Kel. And it went a little something like this. Emily, I think it's safe to say she hates Christmas time. She works at a radio station as a producer, hating the radio show host and his Christmas segments. The host, Ken, is retiring and is picking someone to replace him. And Emily wants that to be her, but it has a hard time putting herself out there. She walks outside and we see a girl put a letter in a mailbox for Santa, and suddenly we're transported through a tunnel to the North Pole mailroom. Cal Mitchell is there. I don't know if you guys know this. He loves orange soda, and he's bad at his job, it seems, and is threatened with being sent to working for the Tooth Fairy. Doesn't sound bad.
Oh, but wait.
Emily, this Christmas work party time, she pre-games a bit with some drinking, and then she goes to her work party and chickens out under the mistletoe with Cute Boy, and then she can't find it in her to talk to her boss, so she drinks some more and goes to the big Santa mailbox. Writes Santa a drunk letter, mails it right off. The elves get it, and they know just the elf for the job. And I'll give you a hint.
Welcome to Good Burger.
Over the Good Burger. Can I take your order? Emily wakes up not in her own bed, hears her mom's voice, and we find out that her first wish on the list to Santa Claus was to be closer to her mom. She comes downstairs and immediately is handed a Nogtini.
Classic.
Second wish. All the Nogtinis. She can't handle her mom.
Is it contagious? Do I need to watch out?
I blame Alonzo.
It's February, people. Come on.
It's February. She can't handle her mom.
I told you to stay away from the triangle pizza.
Point me. So she can't handle her mom, so she tries to go back to the city. Cal Mitchell starts following her, and so she's like, "What's up with you?" And he's like, "Santa's into lessons this year, so we're gonna do all these things, and you're gonna learn a lesson, basically. So your apartment's not gonna be yours anymore." She tries anyway, and there's someone else living there, and her key doesn't work. She finds Kel again, and he's like, "All of your wishes are going to come true, even the one with dancing."
Yeah.
So
if you
just
say
get used
queen,
to it. If you say queen, everybody dances until
you
you
the dance floor. Yes.
She even finds out that she is in a relationship with the hottest guy she can think of, high school hottie Chet Charles. Let's give it up for Chet.
Chet.
So she decides to take things into her own hand and just start making more wishes. But things get out of hand quickly. She ends up being naked at work and is sent to Snowmageddon, where a weird demon starts chasing her and she has fruitcake feet. It's a lot. So she decides, you know what? Instead of trying to do things my own way, I'm just going to go with this. I'm just going to lean into what's going on here. And things kind of start moving. She met a guy, not Chet Charles.
Yeah,
that she
guy.
Kind of
bartender guy.
Starts having a thing for. And
Mr. Snowman.
Mr. Snowman. Right. And things are going well, but she's still having a tough time with her mom. Her mom is just a lot, and she's still kind of having a hard time saying the things that she needs to say. And so finally, we're at the Christmas party. Things are happening, and she just loses it on her mom. And Kel Mitchell is like, yes, this is what we needed. We needed you to just yell at your mom. But in all of the things that she says, she finally talks about how she needs to speak her mind. She needs to believe in herself, and all of that good stuff. And she's able to her mom later comes in and they make up, and then she talks to Mr. Snowman and is like, hey, at some point you're not going to remember this. I'm going to come and see you, and I just want you just to go with it. If someone like me comes into your bar, just go with it. I'm not sure if that's how that works, basically, but what can you do? So all is well. A lesson learned, I think, safe to say.
Yeah.
Lesson learned. Yeah.
Sure.
she ends up going into the radio station. She asks not for the job because it was already handed to somebody else, but the hour-long shift that was unmanned.
That's right.
And,
Turns out there's another one.
There's another one.
Easy.
And the boss is like,
easy fix.
Welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party. And then she goes into the bar, sees the Mr. Snowman and Mr. Hung, and he says, "I don't know what it is, but I just feel like I should go out with you." And so that's where we're gonna go. And we see Kel Mitchell, who everybody says he did a great job, and he says, "I want to kind of keep staying in this lesson learning business." And then we see the Tooth Fairy. And guys,
I've not slept a wink since. Not a one.
I've been to a lot of horror movies. One of the scariest things I've ever seen was on VH1 in a Christmas movie. And we all start dancing and having a good time. And that, my friends, was All I Didn't Want for Christmas.
We did it.
Fruitcake feet.
Fruitcake feet.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll break this movie down with 4 segments here on
Deck the Hallmark.
We're back.
Yeah, we are.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Deck the Hallmark. It's me. It's Brand. It's Dan.
Hi.
It's Alonzo.
Hey.
Triangle.
Pizza.
That's right. We are talking about All I Didn't Want for Christmas, the VH1 movie from 2022. And let's break it down. Let's start with a hot take, and I will start with you, Alonzo. Alonzo, what did you think of All I Didn't Want for Christmas?
My hot take is that I really like this one. I like that it's taking some big swings, that it is about a woman whose life issues are not as tidy and kind of bland as we often get in movies like this, that it is willing to go to crazy places with the Tooth Fairy and stop motion animation, snow monsters. And the idea that not only is this a movie that is about, teaching someone to believe in themselves and speak for themselves and have agency over their own life, but also never a drunk request from Santa, because that just does not end well.
No, it doesn't end well.
No. Certainly you could compare this. There is a Lacey Chabert movie that is not unlike this, where she plays a sort of meek office woman whose wish is to become more assertive. I want to say it's Lacey Chabert, maybe it's Danica McKellar. One of those two made this movie in the Hallmark style several years ago. But yeah, I like the chutzpah of this. I love Gabourey Sidibe. I think she's a blast. And so, yeah, I dug it.
So this movie is very funny.
Yes.
Very, very funny. It's also takes a turn at some point and is very serious. Like, 2 of the funniest scenes while also having the most serious conversation with your mom. Like, I don't know how this movie would manage to do both of those things, but they did it, and they did it very well. This movie is also very weird. It's like weird things, but I love the weird. I'm here for it. Did I expect to be transported to Claymation Town? No, I didn't. Fruitcake feet? No, didn't expect it, but I was pleasantly surprised. I had a lot of fun. Simultaneously, the funniest and the most serious movie, which I'm here for. I had an absolute blast, a surprising blast by the VH1 movie.
Yeah, I think my complaint is that the tonal shifts are just so jarring in this movie. Like, you are just crashing from absurdist comedy into very serious drama with no segue or sort of in between. But when it works, it works. And if you're going to have somebody who's got to play big, broad slapstick comedy and then serious speech about reclaiming what's hers, you could do far worse than Gabourey Sidibe. I think she is great in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
She's really funny, which
So
I've never
funny.
gotten the opportunity to see. I've actually not seen her in much else aside from Precious. And so she was really funny. And then she gives this serious speech. I'm not sure if all of that works, but it's clear they don't have a big budget and they still make it look good. And they do a lot with the small budget, from like the stop motion and green screens that they're using.
Demon
when you know they're
Tooth
using
Fairy, scariest tooth
We'll
fairy.
get to that later. That is a bridge too far, at least one. But
they did it.
There are some really funny parts in this movie, and there are some really good stuff about so many of these movies. When you do this, the I wish, and then all of it comes true, you realize you were a really selfish person. And in this movie, she realizes, like, stop letting people walk all over you and let people determine your fate. And so that's a fun little spin on that, which is, I'm sure, been done before. But like, so when it works, it's really funny and really good. And when it doesn't, it's only because it feels like it's shifting from first to fifth sometimes, and trying to cram it all into under 90 minutes. So yeah, you could do a lot worse, and Sidibe really makes it work when it shouldn't. That's where I am with it.
Let's talk about feels. Did we have any feels while we watched this movie? Let's find out, Alonzo.
Yeah, and I'd say a lot of them come from, as you say, this movie does take a hard turn into serious, but I think those scenes work, A, because Sidibe is so great, but also B, the great Loretta Devine as her mother, one of the original Dream Girls, star of one of my favorite Christmas movies this Christmas, like a legend. And I think that she gives you this character who you understand how much she is just sort of obsessed with appearances and things being perfect, and how having a daughter like Gabrielle Sidibe, who is like a wisecracker and is, a plus size woman and all that stuff, is going to like make her all the more tense and all the more trying to sort of manage her daughter's life. And so I think that comes through in the comedy stuff, and then the comedy stuff lays the groundwork for those serious conversations to happen. I like the fact that this is not only a movie that is built around, a larger woman, but that the fact that she is a larger woman is so key to the things that she's had to deal with in her life, from the high school bully to, other opportunities that she has second guessed herself and not allowed herself to pursue, and that this process allows her to learn. So yeah, I like that she's messy in a human way, which we don't see in these movies, and gets to resolve it in a way that still fits within the context of a Christmas movie.
I was reminded of my love for radio.
Radio Live.
Got into podcasting
Shannon
because growing up, just loved talk radio, Coast to Coast AM. The shock jock Orlando DJs that I grew up on. Like, I love that. That was just so, like, that's why I got into podcasting. It's just like, I can do this, but not on the airwaves, not on the air. No,
on WRML.
That's exactly right.
Flank.
So love that. And Dan and I were just talking about our like how we've always wanted to do an advice show. And so I love
Brandon and I both did not know each other as children. We were not the same age either, but we both played radio as kids. Yep. Like, we would, like, me and my buddies would get together and we'd hit record on the tape recorder, and you'd play radio, man. Like, that was what we did.
Loved it.
And here we are.
Here we are playing
what a story.
Playing radio together.
That's right.
I also love, Kel Mitchell. Grew up Keenan and Kel. Legitimately a funny show.
His range is a small sheet of paper,
but boy,
he's colored it in full. He has shaded it in
both
full.
Sides.
That's right. Yeah.
Kel hits.
Yeah.
So really, I felt nostalgic watching this movie. I love radio. I love Kel Mitchell. I felt like I was 10 again. So it was good for me. Good vibes.
I would never ask someone or even advise someone to try to scare the living daylights out of someone at the end of a fun Christmas movie. Like, I don't think it works. But if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna scare somebody, make it a quick, funny scare.
Yes. And the payoff to a preset joke.
That's right. And this movie has one of the most terrifying looking iterations of the Tooth Fairy I've ever,
legitimately a scary creature.
I still see it. And here's the thing is when they pop to it at the end, they don't pop to it for a quick 1 second, got 'em, fade to black. They pop to it for, and I clocked it, 18 minutes. they pop to it for 10 to 15 seconds. And she's got teeth.
You know what's amazing about this?
Licking the window.
Man, we've seen horror movies where the creature is less scary than
That's
this.
right. Yes, for sure. This thing was Terrifying.
The creature at the end of Smile, disappointing.
Very disappointing.
Give me this creature over the creature at the end of Smile.
The biggest
Above and
feel,
beyond.
yeah, this feels, I'm not joking. Like, I'm not trying to like set you up for disappointment. This feels, I was not comfortable. I watched the end of this and was like, man, that is, and it wasn't jump scary. It was just like, this is going to eat at your dreams scary. And I couldn't believe they did it. I wish they wouldn't have, but they did. And here we are.
And you can watch that on Philo.
That's right.
The things we're letting people in on.
That's right.
Amazing. Let's go to one more quick break. We'll come back with the wait, what, and VH one more question.
Yeah, easy.
Here on
Easy there.
We're back. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We're talking about all I didn't want for Christmas. We're here at the Wait What part of the show. We're talking about what in this movie made us go, wait, what? Alonzo, in a movie where there's fruitcake feet, are there any legitimate wait whats once you've seen that?
Yeah, that's the thing. Once the Santa magic comes into play, a lot of the continuity goes out the window. So we could try and get deep into like, where does she live in the alternate universe, and is she at the radio station or whatever? But whatever, we'll just go with it. I do have to set up a camp on one big thing. The mom drags her to the hair salon where they're going to get these really outrageous, like Christmas hairdos. And the camera cuts in very close, so we don't see what they are.
Of course.
It's a setup for later, but they're like, oh my God, are you sure we're going to do this? And then we cut back to them with the old hairdos.
That's
because
right.
The event that they're going to have the big crazy Christmas hair at isn't for like another day.
Correct.
And that's not how hair works unless these are wigs and they tell us they're wigs. Otherwise, it's a very strange lapse in continuity.
Do you think they did the thing? This is giving them a lot of credit, but when my wife was going to get her hair done for our wedding, she went for like a pre-appointment. Do you think it was that where they went to like plan out the Christmas tree hairdos? And then they left with nothing.
And then had to go back again later.
I'm doing a lot of the work here for VH1, but I feel like that's as good as I got.
That is a very generous read, and I'll accept it, I suppose. That's kind of all I got, because, I mean, there's a lot of nonsense here, but it is baked in like fruitcake. So what do
Brand does pre-appointments for all his haircuts.
Absolutely.
He would have to.
Yeah. Just so the barber can know to block out several, like, several.
Well, Brand and I go in for a 360, so there's a lot going on.
A lot going on. I don't know what the number is where you have to get a different location for your company Christmas party, how many employees you have to have, but this radio station is definitely over it.
Yep.
They should not be having their company Christmas party at the radio station.
A lot of people.
There's too many people. Too many people. It's just, you shouldn't do that. You got to go class it up somewhere else, but you can't be doing it at the radio station. What if somebody accidentally hits a button? What if you're accidentally live? Too much can go wrong. Too much can go wrong.
They blew their budget on the open bar, but not so much that there were enough Nogtinis to go around.
Right. My other one is, it is stated that Kel Mitchell, the elf, has a relationship with the friend in this, correct?
I get together. She keeps hitting on him.
I don't think they ever established that he is in a relationship.
Doesn't he go with? Doesn't he end
Producer
up with her?
Aaron, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
There is a conversation between the two friends where the bully is saying how much she likes him, and I can't think of what her name is.
Right.
But she's like, I don't think it's going to work out between you two.
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I thought that there was one time where she couldn't find him, and she finds out later that he was with her all night. But
I don't remember that at all.
Because he talks about his elf pheromones, basically. So I guess that he just smells like cookies to everybody, and so that's irresistible.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think he
disregard everybody.
Well, I had a problem with
disregard it.
I had a problem with it, but if it didn't happen, then I don't have a problem.
Disregard.
Dan?
There you go.
This whole bit about the fruitcake spread, like everything becoming fruitcake spreading, is a great idea. The problem is there's never a scene where more than one thing is fruitcake. So like if the idea is supposed to be that if I don't get this straightened out, everything will become fruitcake. You would think that as the movie goes along, more and more things would be fruitcake. But instead, they don't have the budget for that. So throughout the movie, one thing will be fruitcake.
That lamp's turned into fruitcake.
But you know what? My feet are back to normal, so I'm good, right? So if it's just one thing that alternates as fruitcake, I say all bets are off, just let it happen, right? Because it's just one thing. Whereas if the whole world's going to become a fruitcake, then you better get on your horse.
Gives you a little more ticking clock, right?
That's right. Give us a little bit more ticking clock. I know the budgets are thin, but the North Pole is set in a pub. Like the North Pole is a bar in this movie. Like they don't even try to make it look like anything else. There's a bar top and a stage in the background. Like make it look like the North Pole a little bit.
It's a mail room though.
It's a
different.
bar. It's a bar is what it is.
It's not, I'm just saying it's not the workshop.
When
They would never.
Mr. Snowman comes in and he's delivering something to Gabourey Sidibe's mom's house. It looks like a delivery she's been waiting on, and she says that they're snowmen, but they're like she purchased them online. And he puts them down and she goes, "Watch out, those are heirlooms." What is she talking about? What's in the box that's brand new, or is there something that I didn't see in frame that are heirlooms? Like what are heirlooms in that scene?
We'd have to take it to the tape, I think.
The tape don't lie.
Maybe he put them right next to the ornament boxes.
I don't know. I just couldn't figure out why she said that line. They announce at the radio Christmas party that this woman is getting this new show, right? And it's not Gabourey Sidibe. They announce, he says, I was going to announce this in January, but since we got the good times rolling, I'm going to announce it right now. When Gabourey Sidibe's character goes outside, there is a giant sign on the outside of the radio station with that woman's face with the dish, the name of the hour below it.
Maybe drunk her envisioned it.
You think she hasn't dreamed yet?
No, I'm just saying, like maybe she's so drunk, she's like envisioned. Like,
wow, that's impressive.
Thank you.
They had it up with like a cloth in front of it, but then as soon as he made the announcement,
he's like, pull the cloth down.
Pull the cloth.
Yeah.
Pull the cloth.
Now. And at one point, the mom is like, we have so much to do. We still have to spray paint the banner gold. What? Like you didn't
I
buy
thought you
it.
said banister.
That's worse. You're spray painting your banister every year. Banner at least is interchangeable. Why not buy a gold one though?
Yeah.
Like that's silly. That doesn't make any sense at all. And then lastly, I'm very worried about the letters to Santa at the bottom of the bin.
yes,
because they
plucked
never
the one that just came out of the tube.
The newbies are coming through, and the ones that did their homework and got their letter in early, they're just never getting to those. Those just aren't as important. They're just sitting at the bottom of the bag down there.
It's not fair.
That's not fair.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
It's time for VH One More Question, where we talk about anything that we're still wondering about that we would like some answers to. Alonzo?
Just imagining Columbo. VH, one more question.
He turns around.
As I'm sure
We're all about to leave. May we be the first to wish you.
VH, one more question.
I'm sure this is freaking hitting for a lot of people.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Honestly, you're not going to shame me about this cultural reference. The shame
Guys,
is all
no.
yours. So,
I'm ashamed of I don't need help.
Does
with that.
Poker Face gives you that vibe, right?
Oh,
Alonzo?
totally. Yes.
Yeah.
It's absolutely Neo Columbo. Which I
Come
love
on.
about it. Okay.
Yeah,
in an alternate universe, like movie like this, it's very clear, I think, to draw your dividing lines. So if she wakes up in the real world, like she's fixed everything and things aren't turning into fruitcake anymore, the mom doesn't get to keep the hat.
No, mom
That's
doesn't get to
just
keep the hat.
confusing.
Yes. Well, when she wakes up, a lot of it is confusing. Like they're not very good at telling you how much people knew and didn't know from what happened.
Right. Does she have to confront the bully all over again now?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's a lot of things that are sort of like what carries over and what doesn't. Like I get Mr. Snowman doesn't know her, but is into her anyway. And, but the mom gets to keep the hat. And so I'm like, okay, what? Pick a lane movie. Which one is it?
Pick a lane.
Yeah.
So there is a mysterious hour of radio without a host What was it?
That was one of
What
mine.
was that? The girl who's now hosting
The Dish?
The Dish. It was at her hour. But also, what hour is it? Because that's a middle of the night advice show is a vastly different radio show than a 2 p.m.
That's right.
advice show. And I'm
They
here
got
for both of
problems
them.
in the middle of the night. More
I know,
so.
Yeah.
I know
Oh,
they
yeah.
do. I know they do. So I just want to know what hour, whose hour was it, and what hour is it? You guys got it?
Or was it? What hour is it?
I like it.
Yeah, I got it. My other one is I want to know this competition that she's in. I just want to know the parameters and how that works, because the way I understand it is she had to get her house decorated by 7 p.m. sharp on Christmas Eve. And that would not leave time for a lot of entries into this competition. Is it a situation where everyone gets a night to host this thing and then hers is the last one?
On Christmas Eve?
Yeah,
That's
the
the only one
judges
that
seem
makes
to be
sense.
hanging out like they aren't in a hurry to get anywhere else.
That's right. So and the woman who she's competing against is at her house. Is
Right.
like so there's no way she's also hosting. So is this like a 3-week long thing where
Interesting.
everybody gets a night? And
I wonder which night you would want to be.
I mean, you either want to be like near the beginning or the end, I would assume.
Yeah.
Like so you don't get
But
caught in that
the
middle.
last I wouldn't want to go to a party to judge on
Christmas Eve. Yeah.
That
That's a mess.
I think this is akin to how they decide which is America's Christmas town in Holly and the Hot Chocolate.
Oh,
Rules
yeah,
are
yeah,
vague.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Very vague. That's all
Yes.
I got.
We did it, everybody.
Yeah, we did.
Congratulations. What a wonderful time we had. The VH1. Who knew? Don't
Who
sleep.
knew?
Don't sleep on the
It's
VH1,
funny.
everybody. That's what we've come to find out. Up next week, we'll be back with a Christmas fumble
What?
from OWN.
From OWN, a
Oh.
Christmas fumble.
A Christmas fumble, everybody.
Great. Sounds good.
I think
How
it's
much football are we talking about?
well, guys. That's Super Bowl week. That's just
TBD.
that's just good timing. That's the day after the Super Bowl.
Man.
Perfect.
Wow.
Christmas fumble. All right, we're gonna be back next week with that one. Until then, may we be the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmarks of Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.